Hello everybody. Today we will study the fourth part of carbon and its compounds. In that we will study chemical properties of carbon's compounds. Okay. So just I have written some points here just to reduce the video size. Some points I have written here. Some chemical properties of carbon compounds. You know, in that we are going to study four properties, that is combustion, that means burning, and substitution, and addition and oxidation. So combustion is also a oxidation only, but there we are going to give a lot of oxygen and we simply burn the entire carbon compound. Okay. So here we will see one by one. Just I have written some examples also for the combustion. Okay. Is it okay if I go little bit fast, or you want me to go little slow? Okay, then I will go little slow only. So combustion means burning only. See, in the gas stove or in your LPG gas you are burning, that is a combustion only. Okay. Here I have taken an example of methane. Methane, when it burns in presence of oxygen, what it will give? Simply it gives the carbon dioxide, water vapors and heat energy as well as light energy, which you are seeing in your the LPG burning condition. That is called as combustion. Okay. So any carbon compounds you take, it may be the alkane group, alkene group or alkyne group, methane, ethane, propane, butane, like any alkane members you can take, any alkene members like ethene, okay, propene, butene, like this. Any alkyne members you can take acetylene or ethyne, propyne, like this. If you combust, okay, so if you combust these things, if you burn these things, the product will be same, carbon dioxide and water vapor and heat and the light. Even if you burn some alcohol group also, ethanol or ethyl alcohol, methyl alcohol, like this, even alcohol group, carboxylic acid group, aldehyde group, right, ketone group, esters group, whatever you burn, any carbon compounds you burn in presence of excess of oxygen, you will get the result will be the same, that is carbon dioxide and water vapors, heat and light energy. Okay. So in the burning, if you reduce some oxygen, then what you will get? You will get another product, that is carbon monoxide and carbon particles, which these two causes the air pollution. You know that even carbon dioxide will also causes the air pollution, but compared to the carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide and carbon particles are very, very dangerous to the health. Why? Carbon monoxide is a poisonous gas. Okay. We will discuss about that in the live process one more time. Okay. So simply you just keep that in mind and see here, if you give enough amount of oxygen, then you will get a blue flame. When you are burning, you will get a blue flame. If for example, a natural gas or a marsh gas, we can call this methane gas also called as a marsh gas, so or a natural gas, or this we are using it as a fuel in the vehicles in the form of a compressed natural gas, in the form of CNG. Okay, as it is a very, very environmental friendly and pollution free fuel, that's why we are using it in the vehicles. Understood? Okay. Same like that only, even butane and some propane, ethane and methane composition also, major component butane we are using in the LPG. Along with that, some methane gas is also present in that also you can see in your home also. There will be no any carbon particles attached to the vessels which you are using for the cooking purpose. Okay. If you put it on the stove, on the gas stove, there you will not find any carbon particles attached to the vessels. Why? Because those methane, it may be ethane, propane, butane, these fuels are very clean fuels, will not give much carbon particles and much carbon monoxide, isn't it? That's why we are using, these are the very, very clean fuels. Understood? Okay then. So first point we understood, what is that? The combustion or burning. Any carbon compounds you burn, you will get the result will be the same, that is carbon dioxide and water and heat and light energy. Okay, but if you give lesser amount of oxygen while burning, yellow flame you will get. If you give enough amount of oxygen while burning, you will get a bluish flame. Yellow flame, when you will get, simply when you will supply less amount of oxygen, along with that you will get carbon monoxide as well as carbon particles also. Understood? Okay then. So this is understood, I think so. Next one, we will move on to the substitution reaction. Suppose, see, I tell you, substitute means what? There is no place there, no place here. Okay, so if you want to add something, if there is any scarcity, then you can add there. But substitute means if you take any saturated hydrocarbons, it may be the alkane or cycloalkanes, there no place you will get for the addition purpose. That's why we have to substitute. If you want to change a compound, then you have to remove one hydrogen and add your desired molecule to it. So that process we call it as a substitution. I will give you an example for that. Okay, see, I have taken a methane here, a first member of alkane. I think in the last video you people have learnt it very nicely about the naming of alkane, alkene and alkyne, as well as all the functional groups also. Alkanes suffix always ends with the "ane", alkenes which are having a double bond in a hydrocarbon chain, suffix "ene" we are using, alkyne suffix we are using "ine". Okay, one more time, I am just recapitulating the previous video, right? All right, here methane I have taken. See here, methane, simply I am adding the chlorine to it. Okay, in presence of sunlight, I have taken a H mu, that is sunlight only, and here you can see you will find CH3Cl plus HCl. Why? Here you have two chlorine atoms, here you are having the structure like this. Okay, structure like this, structural formula I am writing, this mixed with the hydrogen and forms the CH3 and chlorine is attached to it, right? Simply it replaced the hydrogen. This process of replacing a hydrogen from the alkane by any atoms is called as a substitution reaction. I will complete this reaction. See, it will not stop here itself only, it further continues here. Simply it further continues here, CH3Cl, once again it reacts with the chlorine, okay, in presence of sunlight, gives CH2Cl plus HCl. Okay, once again it will not stop there itself until it removes all the hydrogen atoms from the alkane, from the methane. So it continues its reaction. Okay, see here, CH2Cl plus same chlorine in presence of sunlight, CHCl3 and hydrochloric acid. Please do remember, this is very important. So trichloromethane, here we are calling it as a dichloromethane, chloromethane. Trichloromethane, we have one use from it. What is that? We are using it as a chloroform, as a anesthetic substance. Okay, so anesthesians will use it to make the person unconscious, to make the part unconscious. We are using this molecule. Okay, right. So still one more hydrogen is left in that we will see it now here. CHCl3, is it visible? Okay then, trichloromethane once again reacts with the chlorine gas, gives in presence of sunlight tetrachloromethane and hydrochloric acid. Like this, a complete substitution reaction. So you can call this as a substitution reaction. Once if it starts with any alkane, here I have taken a methane as an example. So it continues up to the removal of all the hydrogens present in that alkane group. Okay, and please do remember this. Many a times they have asked you in the CBSE syllabus that trichloromethane use. Okay, uses of trichloromethane, and one more name of trichloromethane is chloroform. Is a chloroform. Okay then. So trichloromethane, we are using it as a anesthesia. Understood? Okay then. So next we will please do remember, substitution reaction we are not going to do with the alkene and alkyne. Understood this? Okay. Why? Because they are unsaturated. Still they are in need of so many other atoms. They have the space to fill other atoms there. Okay. Why? Because majburan they formed double bond and triple bond. Here these are satisfied, alkanes are satisfied. We have to remove any one or any one atom from the alkanes to get our desired molecule. Understood? Okay then. So I'll rub it. I think you people will take it by pausing the video. And next one I will come to the addition. See here, addition means so to give something to the unsaturated one. Here I am adding hydrogen to it. I have taken ethene here. I have taken ethene here. CH2 double bond CH2. Simply I am adding a hydrogen, and this is very important in your day-to-day life also. I am telling you, please take it seriously. Ethene is present here. In between the two carbon atoms we are having a double bond, that means these are unsaturated. So majburan they formed double bond because they were having the scarcity of hydrogen when they were forming. But now they are having the hydrogen, we are giving the hydrogen. Even you can call this as the hydrogenation. Okay. So in the first chapter we have studied that oxidation and reduction. Okay. What is oxidation? Adding the oxygen or removal of hydrogen. Then what is reduction? Adding the hydrogen, removal of oxygen. Here you can take this as the reduction reaction or hydrogenation reaction. Understood? See, we are simply adding the hydrogen gas to it in presence of a catalyst. Why? We want to fasten this reaction. For that some catalyst will work. Okay, as a to fasten this reaction, some catalyst will work to fasten this reaction. For example, you can take a nickel or palladium, any one of these two. Then you can see here. So this double bond is going to break and give a single bond, that is CH. One H from this one will come this side, CH3. Now carbon valency, that 4, already 3 is there, bond like this, and CH3. See, this carbon is also now satisfied by the 4 valency, 3 plus 1. This one is also like that, 3 plus 1. Like this, any unsaturated hydrocarbons, you can make them saturated by adding the hydrogen, and this process or this chemical reaction we call it as a addition reaction. Something, we are doing this process specially for unsaturated fatty acids. Okay, so to convert it into saturated fatty acids. You might have seen, you people are using the edible oil which is unsaturated, good for health. I am telling you, good for health. Suppose if you add a hydrogen to any edible oil, that becomes our dalda, margarine. That is not good for health. Understood? That's why on the cover of the edible oil they will mention that unsaturated fatty acids, good for health. Understood? Okay. So always use the unsaturated fatty acids, that means oils. Understood? Oils are having the fatty acids in it. Okay. All right. That is about the addition. Okay. So next point I will come to the oxidation. Both are same, no sir, adding the oxygen, isn't it? Or burning is also adding the oxygen. Here see here I have taken an example, methane, and I have taken a single oxygen, that is nascent oxygen, not O2 molecule I have taken here, only O I have taken. and I am doing the partial oxidation. There are two types of oxidation, partial and complete oxidation, even in the oxidation itself only. Adding the oxygen partially, only adding the oxygen, single atom of oxygen if you add, that is called partial. If you add a O2, then that is complete oxidation. So for the oxidation purpose, we will use, as we have used some catalyst here in the addition process, same like that only, we will take some catalyst here. I will write those things here. See, I will take this one only here, methane. Is it clear? Shall I rub it? Okay. Methane I will take. This O I will keep it in the bracket, and catalyst I will take, that is alkaline KMNO4. What it means, sir? So it means it is having a NaOH also with it. NaOH also with it. Or acidic potassium K2Cr2O7, acidic potassium dichromate. Sir, you are using the acidic means what it is having. So it is having, along with the potassium dichromate, it is having a concentrated H2SO4 in it. That's why we are using the word alkaline KMNO4 and acidic K2Cr2O7. If you are doing the partial, oxidation, see here, you will get, see, CH4 is there, simply add one O to it, you will get, see here, CH3OH. One hydrogen is added with the oxygen and you will get methanol or methyl alcohol. You know that OH is a alcohol group, right? So suffix we have used for the OH is OL. We have studied it in the previous video. Understood? In the previous session we have studied about all the functional groups. Okay. Suppose if you do it complete, I will take it as a partial oxidation. If you do the complete oxidation, then I will take O2 molecule in presence of same catalyst. See here, it will give CH O2, no? Yes, HCOOH. Okay, it gives HCOOH. That means a formic acid or methanoic acid. Okay, so the formic acid name has come from the ant whose name is Pharma. From that we have taken the acid name formic acid, whereas you know the IUPAC name is methanoic acid. Why? Because COOH group is there. So now I think you people come to know the complete oxidation of alkanes. Complete oxidation of alkanes will give you aldehydes. HCHO, whereas partial oxidation of alkanes will give you alcohols. Understood? Okay, right. So this is what we can call this as the oxidation. Even you can oxidate this alcohol group and you will get aldehyde group, and if you complete oxidize it, you will get the carboxylic group. Please do remember it. Okay, so if you do the reverse, that is reduction, then from the formaldehyde you will get ethyl alcohol, and from the alcohol you will get the alkane. That is reduction. You know that. Okay, removal of oxygen. Understood? Okay then. So that is about the oxidation. Okay, so in this chapter we are going to study two very important carbon compounds. Okay, for the 2021 syllabus it was deleted, it was not there. but for the next year students it is there. Don't know, maybe the CBSE board may remove it or may keep it. Anyhow, we are using it in day-to-day life. These two compounds, I will tell you now, the important compounds of carbon, that we will study for our knowledge purpose at least. Okay, all right. I will rub all these things. Please take down, pause the video, take down the things. Okay. Right then. What are those two important carbon compounds, sir? I will write now. Wait. See here. So first one is ethanol, CH2, C2 or CH3, CH2OH. See why I have written like this? Carbon's valency is 4, 3 plus 1. Okay, here carbon's valency is 4, 1 plus 1, 2 and 2 here, isn't it? Oxygen valency is 2, 1 is here, another one is here. Hydrogen's valency is 1. Like this, simply I splitted it. You can, add also C2H5OH, ethanol. Why we have to study this ethanol, sir, as a very important compound? I tell you some uses of ethanol. See, now we are facing a corona, in that every day minimum more than 10 to 15 times we will wash our hand by the sanitizer. That sanitizer is having this one. Alcohol is present in that. Okay. Next one. So even alcohol is present in the cough syrup. Okay. Then in the varnishes, we are using this alcohol in the dyes, in the paints, in the artificial fibers, synthetic fibers we are using. Okay. And ethyl alcohol or ethanol we are using specially in the medical line, in the medicine we are using, to sterilize the syringes we are using, as a spirit we are using. Okay, and it is having a very good value in the beverages. In all the wine, arak, or in such shops, you are seeing that the major thing that is ethanol. Okay, in the alcohol group we have seen so many alcohol members, methanol, ethanol, propanol, butanol, but our important product is ethanol only, ethyl alcohol only. Why? It is having such a huge importance or the functions. Okay, in the medicinal field we are having, in medical field we are having the uses of this one. Even we are adding the ethanol to the petrol to get a good mileage. Understood? So that's why we have to study the ethanol. I tell you a funny thing, you might have heard that the whiskey, wine, beer and all, in that if you take a whiskey, there is 35% of alcohol is there in the whiskey. Okay, am I right? Whiskey spelling, you just check it. Okay, 10 to 20% of ethanol is present in the wine, and in the beers only 6% of ethanol is there in the beer. See uses I am telling you. Okay, so in the beer we are having these all uses. Okay, and even in iodine tinctures, sterilization purpose, sanitization purpose. Okay, so many uses we have, you can count, so many uses are there from the ethanol. That's why we are studying now. We are studying. Understood? As a fuel you can use, as a medicine you can use. Okay, simply once if I say ethanol, all will think that yes, it is used for the whiskey, wine and beer. No, other uses are also there. As I told you, even in all the cough syrups we are using it, iodine tincture we are using it, in the paints and in the varnishes and in the dyes we are using, and in the some things or some substances will not soluble in the water. So those chemicals, especially the medicinal chemicals, those are not soluble in the water. Such things will be soluble in the ethanol, so there we are using it. Understood? Okay, that's why we have to study the ethanol. If so, this is the first one. Second one, I will tell you, CH3COOH, right? Already we have studied it in the functional group. What is that? Eth. See here, 2 carbons are there. Eth, COOH group is there. Oic acid, ethanoic acid, ethane, ethane, oic acid, ethanoic acid. Okay, ethanoic acid. Uses of this one, just we have studied. Why we have to study these compounds, sir? I told you there are many reasons, many uses of this one. Same like that only, here also we have so many uses. The common name of this one you all are familiar, that is acetic acid. Okay, we use 5 to 6% or 8% of acetic acid in the vinegar preparation, in the tomato sauce, in the ketchups. Alright, even we are using this to prepare some medicines like aspirin, okay, which is an analgesic and antipyretic, that means a painkiller as well as fever killer. Understood? So it has so many use and we are familiar with this one, that's why we have to study this. Understood? Okay, these two are very important carbon compounds we have to study this year. Okay, as I told you some uses of this one, and even you can collect so many uses of these two things also. Please go through the book, there you can take even more uses of this one. Very rarely they will ask the uses of these two things, and some familiar uses like used acetic acid used in the vinegar and in the medicinal field, like preparation of medicines like ecosprin or aspirin. Okay, like that they may ask you, and the uses of this one is very familiar. Understood? Okay, so we will see one by one the preparation and some chemical reactions of these two things. Okay, so that completes our these two carbon compounds importance. So first I will go CH2. If you want to prepare the ethanol, you have to take the ethane. Chemically or laboratorily, in the lab, how we are preparing the ethanol, that I am telling you, not the commercial. Commercial I will tell you next. Okay, if you want to prepare the ethanol, then take the ethane, C2H6. As we just did it in the oxidation, take a nascent oxygen in presence of, yes, very good. So alkaline KMNO4 or acidic, very good, acidic K2Cr2O7, potassium dichromate. Okay, you will get, see here, C2H5OH. This O is going to attach with one hydrogen and 2 carbon is there and 5 hydrogens are there. Even you can write like this, CH3CH3. Here that has become CH3, CH2 and OH. One O from this one is taken by the O, that is oxidation. Okay, and removal of hydrogen, see, redox reaction you can take here also. Ethanol or ethyl alcohol. Understood? This is the laboratory preparation I am telling you. Whereas commonly for the commercial purpose, how we are preparing the ethanol in a huge quantity. You know that the molasses, the end part which is not crystallined, okay, which is not crystallined in the sugar preparation, that part we call it as a molasses. We call that as a molasses. Okay. So molasses is nothing but it is just the non-crystalline form of sugar. Then what is sugar? It is a disaccharide. Okay, it is just a disaccharide. So the commercial purpose how we are preparing the ethanol, that I am going to tell you here. Simply we will take the molasses. What is molasses? It is just the sucrose only. Sucrose is a disaccharide. What it is having in it? CS12H22O11. That is our disaccharide, that is our sugar. Okay, this molasses, this I will rub. Laboratory preparation is over. Commercial purpose, how we are using that I am telling you here. Take this one and they will add the water to it and add some yeast to it, which releases some enzymes called invertase. Invertase, TASE. Okay, gives the product C6H12O6. 12 carbons are there, so 6 carbon and 22 hydrogens are there. 12 are there already, 11 are there. Simply another one, C6H12O6. This is glucose and this one is fructose. Okay, fructose. Then they will take the glucose. These may having the same molecular formula. There will be some difference between the glucose and the fructose. They will take the glucose C6H12O6. Simply add yeast to it, which releases the one more enzyme, that is zymase. Convert this complex molecule into simpler one. See here, 2C2H5OH, ethanol, your desired product is ready now, and carbon dioxide. Okay, 2CO2. Understood? And even some energy, 2 ATPs also released here, 2 ATPs, that we will study it in the anaerobic respiration in the life process. Okay, see here, totally from the molasses we got the glucose, and from glucose we got the ethanol. This is the commercial preparation of ethanol or ethyl alcohol. And this entire process, see here, a complex molecule is broken down into simpler molecule by the action of enzymes, which is released by microorganisms. That process we call it as a fermentation. What is fermentation then? Fermentation is a process in which complex molecules are converting into simpler molecules by the action of enzyme, which is released by microorganisms. Understood? Like this, we will prepare the ethanol, or we manufacture the ethanol commercially. Understood this? Okay then. So then how it looks? It is colorless. Ethanol is a colorless one. Okay, and its boiling point almost 78 degrees centigrade or 351 Kelvin you can take. Some physical properties I am telling you. And the smell, you know that once if you might have seen that spirit, the smell when a doctor is injecting some injection into your body, that time he will use the spirit. There he will use the a compound of alcohol only. So that spirit is having 5% alcohol in it. Okay, so 100% alcohol we call it as a absolute alcohol. Understood? Absolute alcohol. The physical properties just I told you about the ethanol, and we can see some chemical properties of ethanol also. Okay, right? Because these questions will be asked in the examination many a times. So fermentation process, I think you people have understood, very simple. Conversion of complex molecules into simpler molecules by the action of enzymes, which is released by microorganisms. Very good. All right, then we will move on to some chemical properties. I will take the same the chemical properties of what we have studied in the carbon compounds. Same thing I will take here. Take a ethanol. Okay. Ethanol. Do remember one more point, just I will punch here. Methanol, I will write here CH3OH, very poisonous one. I tell you its action. This we are using it in the hard drinks, in the preparation of hard drinks. Why not we are using this one in the hard drinks? Because it is a poisonous one. Even if you take it in a smaller quantity, I tell you, it affects to the nervous or optic nerve, makes the persons blind, permanently blind. Okay, and I tell you, if it will be taken in a smaller quantity also, the methanol will move to the liver cell. There it simply converts into methanal. It converts into methanal, HCHO. Okay, methanol, which coagulates, which clots the the cytoplasm of those cells, causes the death. Coagulation of cytoplasm or protoplasm or the liquid material which is present in the cell, that means coagulation takes place, then all the cell organelles stops working, that means the death of cell. So that is why I am telling you how methanol is very dangerous. That's what I told you. This will be added to the ethanol specially to denature the ethanol, because it causes some narcotic effect. Ethanol causes some narcotic effect. Ethanol causes some sedative effect. That's why it is used in the medicine. I told you in the cough syrup, once if you take the cough syrup more than the prescribed quantity, you started feeling a sedation, dizziness, a kind of joyfulness you will feel. That's why while preparing some medicines and in varnishes, paints and other tinctures and spirit, and in all factories, the workers should not take it, should not consume it. For that purpose only, so the ethanol will be denatured by adding the methanol and pyridine and copper sulfate. That's why you might have seen a bluish color ethanol. That is because of that color is because of they have added a copper sulfate in it. Got this point? Okay then. So the why it is so dangerous, I told you. So be careful. Methanol is a very dangerous. It causes the death. Okay, and I told you it causes the permanent blindness also. It first attacks to our optic nerve only. Understood? Then in the liver it turns into methanol or formaldehyde, okay, which we are using in preparation of formalin or preparation of plugs, plastic plugs. There we are using it. Okay, so in between some uses, if I say, please note it down, that will be useful for you. Understood? Okay then. So ethanol, all right. First we will burn it, combust it. So if you combust it, combustion I am writing, you will get the same product, that is carbon dioxide and water molecule and heat and light energy. That's it. Understood? Okay. So combustion is over. You can make a balance little bit later. Next one. After combustion, simply we will add a sodium to it. That means how this is water soluble one. I tell you, it soluble in the water. Okay. Whereas will it react with the metals? Of course, we will take the highly reactive metals. Okay. So that is sodium or potassium, whatever you take. C2H5OH ethanol, when it reacts with the sodium, see here, what it will do, simply it gives C2H5O in place of hydrogen. You know that in the reactivity series of metals we have given you, sodium is more reactive than the hydrogen. Definitely it replaces the hydrogen from this area. Okay, so you will see sodium, metal is there, that's why we have to name it first. Sodium eth oxide. Understood? Sodium eth oxide. And we will get a hydrogen gas. Understood? Okay then. So then we had seen ethanol, when it reacts with the metal, it gives a metal ethoxide. Sodium, you write down, sodium ethoxide. Understood? Okay then. Third one, simply what we will do, we will take out hydrogen from it. Okay, so dehydration process. Okay, dehydration we will do 2C2H5, or I will write it in this manner, that will be also a ethanol only. See, I will take CH3 CH2OH, same one only. See, 2 carbon, 3 plus 2, 5 hydrogen, and OH. So, in presence of concentrated H2SO4, it is a very good dehydrating agent. Okay, simply it take out water molecule from it. So, OH is already there, one H from it will be removed and it causes C, one hydrogen is moved, then H2. This carbon is having only 2 bond right now, then it requires 2 more bond, then its valency becomes correct. 2 plus 2, 4, and here C, it is also having only 2 now, CH2. What is this? Ethene. Very good. So, from ethanol, after dehydrating it, after removing the water from it, in presence of concentrated H2SO4, you will get ethene. That means from the alkanes, you can get the alkenes also. And what will be the product? Very good. Water. Okay, right. So, next what we will do, this is over, we will simply add this one to the our next compound. What is that? Ethanoic acid. Okay, we will try it now. What product we will get, just we will try it. See here, ethanol I will take, or first I will take the ethanoic acid, CH3COOH, ethanoic acid, or very good, acetic acid. Then, so CH3CH2OH, same thing what I have written here, that is ethanol only. Okay, what you will get, just we will see here. This is going to react with this, same water is going to form. Okay, see that reaction I will write here. Okay, this I will take front, C2H5, COO, then CH3. Otherwise, you can write CH3COO. You can write like this also. CH3COO C2H5. Name it. Now you got a ester. What is this? Ester. C double bond O and O, I told you in the functional group also, right? Ethyl, ethanoate. This is ethyl group. 2 carbon are there. Ethanoate, ethane you will write. Ketone group is, ester group is there. Then you will end up with ethyl ethanoate. So, this is the sweet smelling ester. This is the sweet smelling ester which we are using it in the perfumes, deodorants. Understood? So, this process of conversion of acid and alcohol to the ester is called as esterification. Esterification. Understood? Okay. Simply, we will do one more jadoo in this, magic in this. We will take the same ester here, CH3COO C2H5, and this will be reacted with the caustic soda, NaOH. NaOH. See here, NaOH. So, the ester is going to react with the caustic soda or sodium hydroxide. What you will get? See, CH3, this one is plus, this one is minus. Okay, here it is minus. It has to attach with this one only, no? So the compound I will write down here, CH3 COO Na is going to attach with it, okay, and C2H5 OH, C2H5OH, what you were added to the ethanoic acid, the same ethanol you will get here. Sir, what is this there, sir? Then what is this then? This is simply name it first. Sodium, 2 carbon are there, ester is there, sodium ethanoate, ethyl ethanoate. How we have written like that? Sodium ethanoate. Sodium ethanoate is nothing but a soap only. A sodium salt long chain carboxylic acid or fatty acid is a soap only. Okay, like this preparation of soap from the esters is called as saponification, preparation of soap. Getting my point? Okay, so please take it little bit slowly. See the same product, ester, a sweet smelling product I have taken, added the caustic soda to it. Okay, added the caustic soda to it, and I got a sodium ethanoate, which is a soap. And like this, the preparation of soap is called as saponification. Got my point? Okay. So from ethanol to ester, from ester to soap. See, so many uses from the ethanol we are getting here also. Understood? Okay then. So I will move on to the next very important carbon compound in this one, as we already mentioned in the beginning also, that is CH3COOH. What is this? Yes, you are right, acetic acid or ethanoic acid. Ethanoic acid in the UPAC system, you say, a UPAC system, we call it as a ethanoic acid. Normally we call it as a acetic acid. How we will prepare it? Preparation we will see first. Okay, we will see the preparation first. Simply, how many are there? 2 carbons are there. Then you take ethyl alcohol or ethanol and oxidize it. That's it. Oxidize it. That too, not partial, complete oxidation you have to do in presence of alkaline KMNO4. Why I have mentioned alkaline? Along with the KMNO4, NaOH is there. Remember it. Acidic K2Cr2O7, potassium dichromate. Okay, along with this H2SO4 is there. Okay, that means these solutions are having NaOH as well as H2SO4 also. Then you are oxidizing it, you will get the product CH3COOH, that is your ethanoic acid. Okay, so uses I already told you where we are using it. We are using it in the so many fields, like in a medicine field and in the in the preparation of or in the preservation of pickles, it may be tomato sauce, it may be ketchups, it may be like this. So many uses are there. Okay, so next we will see some chemical reactions of this also, right? CH3COOH, when it reacts with, even if you burn this one, you will get a carbon dioxide. Combustion process same for all the hydrocarbons, and here all the carbon compounds. Okay, here add a sodium to it. What you will get? I will write the product here. These are reactants, CH3COONA and H2 gas is liberated. What is this? Sodium ethanoate, ester it is. Sodium ethanoate, sorry, it is a soap, sodium ethanoate. Okay, this is first reaction. Many a times they will ask you the chemical reactions of ethanoic acid with the metal, okay, with the caustic soda, CH3COOH plus caustic soda we will take NaOH. What you will get? We will see now. Same product you will get CH3COONA. Instead of water you will get OH plus H. Instead of hydrogen, instead of hydrogen you will get water. Okay, even in the acid base salts also we have discussed, these acids when they react with the metal carbonates they give carbon dioxide, that also we will see. Third one, CH3COOH, when it reacts with the metal carbonate Na2CO3 metal carbonate, what it gives? CH3. Same product you will get soap only, but this process we will not call as a saponification. Only the saponification process we call esters when they react with the caustic soda, then we get the soap. That is called as, that process is called as saponification. Whereas simply you take, these are the reactions of acetic acid with caustic soda or with sodium carbonate or metal carbonate. Okay, carbon dioxide you will get and water you will get. Carbon dioxide gas is evaporated. So next one, when it reacts with sodium bicarbonate CH3COOH, when it reacts with the NaHCO3, same product you will get CO2 plus H2O. Understood? These are all some chemical reactions of ethanoic acid or acetic acid. Understood? Okay, right. So this is also a colorless liquid. Okay, physical properties I am telling you. Colorless liquid having the acidic smell. You know that acid how it smells. And if you put a blue color litmus in this, it turns into red. Okay, right then. So these are all some chemical reactions of ethanoic acids. Okay, so with this I am closing this video. In the next video we will start with the soaps and detergents. A very small video we will do on it, so that until then all of you are be safe and stay home. And one more thing, please go through the book and please practice all these chemical reactions so that you will be perfect in the chemical reactions. Okay then, bye bye, Jai Hind.